I am so glad my parents weren't artists, because if the movies are any indication, that's the number one way to fuck a kid up. The great Norwegian director Joachim Trier has returned with his next film after pretty much conquering the world with his last film, The Worst Person in the World. Trier has quietly made a name for himself over almost a 20-year career. He's known for complex human relationships, not going the easy route with either characters or drama. And Sentimental Value presents maybe his most complex and prickliest characters to date. I gotta admit, I was a little trepidatious going into this movie because movies about art and artists, or the children of artists, well, they can get pretentious really quickly. But Trier resists all those impulses to give us one of the best and most complex character dramas of the entire year. We open with Renate Reinsve as Nora, a stage actress who's just caught her big break. But she's a hot mess, and it seems like it all traces back to her family history. Her dad is the legendary director Gustav Borg, played by Stellan Skarsgård, and his shadow looms large over the entire family. After the death of her mother, Nora and her sister Agnes are reunited with their father. It seems Gustav wasn't there for them that much in their childhood, and he's found a new way to make amends. He hasn't made a film in 15 years, but he's staging his comeback, and he wants Nora as the lead part. But that's too easy for her, and she declines immediately. But things soon get very complicated when Gustav casts American actress and rising star Rachel Kemp, played by Elle Fanning. The script is autobiographical, and Rachel is basically playing a version of Nora. Now, art is imitating life, life is imitating art, and Nora has to confront her relationship with her father. Can she forgive the man who's caused her so much pain? You can already tell from this plot summary that a story like this could be rife with melodrama. A director dad and actress daughter, the other daughter who used to act in the dad's films, and then the up and coming actress who's trying to channel all this family strife into this new film. This could be as big as an Almodovar melodrama or as small as a forgotten drama from the 90s. And director Joachim Trier resists both impulses and gives us something, I won't say down the middle, but something so true to life. And that is so tricky because when you're dealing with art and artists, there's a penchant to, I don't know, overinflate the importance of it. Yes, I'm a film lover. I love the art of film, but films about the art of film and film artists don't always have the best track record. You could go from Fellini's 8.5, or you could get something pretentious like a certain awards movie that's coming out a little later this year. Spoiler alert, it's Jay Kelly. But Norway is a country that treats art not really like a profession, and it doesn't treat artists like gods. It treats them as people. People who almost have this creative drive that's like a deficiency. It's something they're stricken with. It's innate within them. And that colors their entire worldview. I said how this movie avoids being pompous, but there is one pompous character, and that is Stellan Skarsgård's director, Gustav. Skarsgård is a legend at this point. He's been in films for multiple decades. Started in Norway and then broke out into American films. I mean, remember, he was in Good Will Hunting and Deep Blue Sea in the late 90s. But his work with Lars von Trier and Breaking the Waves and Dogville, it shows just a wealth of range and a richness and detail that he brings to every project. And Gustav might be his prickliest character to date, because this guy isn't an outright monster. Skarsgård plays Gustav like that father figure you always wanted, but you also hate. He's so pig-headed with his creative ideas, and yet he can be so warm and nurturing as a director. And with his relationship with Rachel, the American actress, well, he kind of becomes the father figure that he never was to Nora. And as Nora, Renate Reinsve, who was in Trier's last film, The Worst Person in the World, is such a terrific actress at expressing and not showing to the audience. Here's the thing about sentimental value. If this movie was American with American actors, it would probably be a disaster. And that's true for a lot of European cinema. You know, it might be a trite comparison, but there's more than a little bit of Ingmar Bergman in this film. Yes, I know they're both from Scandinavia, but in the way Trier plays with the character dynamics, in the generational trauma, and the confrontations, where they're not always what you expect. Real life confrontations are quiet, awkward, embarrassing, regretful. And with this cast, Reinsve Skarsgård and Inga Ibsdottir Lillias, I'm probably butchering that, as Agnes, Nora's sister, Trier finds just the right triptych of strong personalities to carry the weight of this drama. Then, of course, there's Elle Fanning as the outsider, the American actress. Now, I haven't always been the biggest Elle Fanning fan. I kind of think she's a pretty one note actress, a little monotone. This is probably the best I've ever seen her. And her being a bit of a deer in the headlights, her being thrust into this great role for this great European director and being American, well, it works for her. She doesn't bring this movie down. But Trier is capturing something more than just art imitating life. And ultimately, Trier lets these characters reach conclusions that are honest for them. This is a film that doesn't judge its characters. It's not about who's right or who's wrong, more about how right, how wrong. And those levels of gray, those degrees of nuance, are things you usually don't see in American dramas. Because real drama isn't like movies with big, explosive, melodramatic overacting. Sometimes all you need for the power of drama is just two characters looking at each other, maybe giving a small smile, acknowledging that they've hurt each other, but acknowledging that they've changed and they can go forward. And gestures like that are more powerful to me than any explosive speech. Sentimental Value is another triumph from director Joachim Trier. He's quickly proven himself a master at drama and dramatic actors, especially with the work here done by Renata Reinsva and Stellan Skarsgård. The film never goes for easy answers. It allows us to contemplate what art means, how art is a form of communication between people, and its destructive and healing properties. I give Sentimental Value an essential 4.5 stars out of 5. If you like this review, please like and subscribe or follow me on Letterboxd at RamirezS316. Technically, I'm an artist. And I think I found a way not to mess up my future children with my creativity. I'm just not going to have children.